Cal, obviously we're here at the shootathon, and obviously a great event, and you've been here for quite a few hours now. How have you seen it so far?
It's been absolutely fantastic, and seeing that a facility available for all the young kids and adults to come along and not only enhance their skills, but being part of a total activity environment where they got, a lounge room over here, they got a band in the corner, they got the food trucks outside with a restaurant soon to be put together inside, and 7-8 shooting machines, and you can adjust the heights for the young, small, tall, and they playing 3-on-3, so unbelievable facility. Credit to Swisher, West End, David Bartlett, Anthony Stewart, Mark Nash. I think it's a wonderful facility, and I would love to have one for myself.
So you need one in Canberra, wouldn't you, Cal?
We definitely need one in Canberra. At this point in time, we don't have great facilities in Canberra, so the kids are playing games late at night. But in this particular case, you can come along and they got your own courts. You can come in and shoot on the machine, or you can go play some games. And I think the best is yet to come out of this, because they got a running track, they got a weight room, they got everything going on in here in a one-stop shop. So it's absolutely fantastic.
And with the shootathon, of course, all money raised going to Ronald McDonald House, obviously a very important charity within the country. It must be exciting to be a part of this.
Yes, no, most definitely. David Bartlett and he invited me down a long time ago, and to see that, they've actually taken to that stage where they're raising funds for a very much needed cause, and they've well over $50,000 already. And I think it's further down the track when they finally ante up at the end. So it's going to be a lot of nights that's going to cater for the parents and families of those 6 children, to the point where it'll ease that burden and put some real goodwill into the community.
Cal, I've noticed your number 55 is up on that Swisher Hoops Singlet Hall of Fame. Must be nice to be recognised.
Most definitely. Well, it's the only place where a Bruton singlet is hanging for me. CJ has one in Sydney, of course, and he has one in the States, he has one in New Zealand, but I've never had my singlet up on any wall, so it is quite an honor, and I'm very excited about this. Particularly, I've only played in Hobart for a couple of seasons, and I coached for 3 years here, but for them to give me that sort of recognition and respect, I'm really chuffed about that, and having my son Brooklyn with me here to see it, it's great. And what I was able to do was surprise David Bartlett with my singlet. I had it on underneath my jumper, and I wanted to tell him that, out of respect and someone I deeply admire, I like to, and I unzipped my jacket and said, literally, I want to take the shirt off my back and present it to you. And it was my number 55 Hobart Devils jersey, which actually shocked him. And he went, oh no, I'm putting that on right now. So he's walking around with it. I don't know if he's still here, but he had it on for the whole afternoon.
I spoke to him earlier, and he did have it on, Cal. He's just gone off to coach juniors, as I will be shortly as well too, but he was very chuffed about it all. And I hear you're signing your jersey up on the wall here later tonight.
Yes, 8 p.m. I believe, where Mark and Stewie and David will all be here. Bringing out a ladder, because I can't reach that high, right? And for me to have the opportunity to be the first one to autograph the jersey, because they got some greats up on that wall with, Wayne McDaniel, Steve Carfino, Paul Stanley, Debbie Black. They just got a wall for, I wish I could call off all the names, but everyone there has made massive contribution to Tasmanian basketball, and I'm very proud to be up there with them.
Is it nice being back in Hobart? I know you enjoy coming back to Hobart any time you get. Is it nice to be here over the weekend and spend some time with all of us?
I love Hobart. It's been one of my favorite places in the world. I could have easily stayed down here if I was able to secure a little more support at that particular time and keep the team, competing in the league at a high level. But, I handed the baton over, or it was handed over to the assistant coach and Bill Thomason, and I went back to Perth to to be with my family, which was obviously very important to me, and be around CJ when he was trying to get his career off the ground with the Wildcats, and after a year he wanted to go to America, so it was a good time for me to be back in Perth and help him on his way. But I always had fond memories of Hobart, Tasmania, traveling around this island, promoting the game, and being a part of that generation. I just saw Nigel Dunn, one of my former players who I brought in as a youngster, and just to see him and his family now, where his young son is taking up basketball, that just tickles me, to no end. So, basketball's been tremendous in that respect, where you see not only the players that you play with or the ones that you coach, but now you're seeing their kids take up the sport. And I ran a couple clinics here yesterday, and all the kids that came up was always connected to someone else that I knew, and that's just always a blessing, really.
Are you surprised of the increase of the participation rate here in Tasmania? It's just booming right now, and especially with the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers being announced into the NBL for next season.
It's always nice to have some program that's at the pinnacle where all players got a chance to reach the top. So you got all the young kids that played in the CBOOL, now NBL 1, and now they aspire to go further, even playing internationally. So I went to the game last night, saw a classy outfit in the Chargers, coached by Anthony Stewart, perform. All those young men came in here today at one time or another to salute what's going on, and to me, there's no surprise. Basketball in Tasmania has always been a hit for all the local community. It's just a matter of them being on the national stage so they would show how proud they are to participate at that level. And when they were most successful back in '87 with Dave Atkins coaching, they had Kingborough rocking, where you couldn't fit another person in that stadium with a shoehorn. And then moving to the Derwent, it all became pretty taxing trying to keep up with the Joneses, and particularly the mainland when they got much more funding. But now Larry Kesselman's put his money behind, the Jack Jumpers, and the government is backing him as well, and they got now, corporate sponsors like the Spirit of Tasmania. So it should be a very exciting time for all the young people that want to play the game here, particularly the young men and women that are aspiring to get at the highest level.
You mentioned being at the game last night. You jumped on commentary with myself and Justin Bryan. How did you enjoy it?
That was fun. Listening to you guys through the headphones and talking the game up, and then we talking about something that happened in the past. And watch this play. I really felt it gave a spirit that was second to none for us, just enjoying it. But also, I think that kind of came through with the broadcast, and I'm sure the people that watched it would have kind of had a laugh and kind of followed that with interest. And I saw a little report like, "Yo, Cal, you should have a microphone." And, well, if they give me one, I'll gladly speak into it, right? But no, I'm enjoying just being a part of the overall growth of the game here again, because I got my son Brooklyn, as I mentioned here, and he's got an opportunity to come to Tasmania and be a part of this upsurge with Anthony Stewart and this facility here, and attending the University of Tas. So we're kind of sitting down. We got to go through it when we get back home, but that could keep us connected to Tasmania for a little bit longer.
So this could be an exclusive right here on Chargers TV, Cal. So, let's talk about your son Brooklyn for a little bit here. I don't delve into, obviously, the family side of things, but we do keep an eye on the background of how your son's going, and he's progressing quite well from what I saw in that shootout. Has a nice shooting stroke, good technique. He brought the roof down with that half quarter last night, by the way, too. But so Hobart's definitely a viable option if he decides to bring his education down here, and then maybe potentially may suit up for the Hobart Chargers at some stage.
Well, that would be the ultimate. We obviously more concerned with his education. His mom is a graduate from the University of Canberra. She's an executive at the Australian Research Council. We, as a family, I went to 4 years of university, so we're trying to encourage our young kids to obviously go as far as they can with their education. My daughter graduated from Australian Catholic University this year, and my youngest son is graduating from high school. So We feel that education is the key. Brooklyn understands how we feel about it. He gave it a little nod that he would like to, but we got to go discuss that with the family. But that might, again, give us an excuse to come down here more often. But it was nice for David Bartlett to say, hey, we got him. If he'd like to look at this opportunity, we'd love to bring him down. Now, his basketball, he's still a young player. Hasn't had a great deal of experience playing against good men. This is his first year of playing at that level in Canberra, and he's had a couple of big games, and he's also had some games that he knows that there's a lot of improvement there. But if he wants to do this, I'm 100% behind him. I'll be on the Spirit of Tasmania winning with his bags to ship him across with his car and everything, and say, he's got a home, he's got Jono Mines, but more importantly to me, he's got Anthony Stewart, who Anthony looked at me in my eyes and told me, what you did for me, I can't say enough for. It gave me my start in my career. I only feel it's just natural to flip the script and pay it back to you. So if Brooklyn is interested, we got him. And I thought, wow, that was touching. And it kind of almost got me to kind of well up a little bit, because I thought, dang, that's how the world rolls. When you give, it comes back. And I always felt like I gave to young kids that were seeking opportunities, and I tried to, like Jono. No one knew about him, and I thought, I got to connect. And Anthony Stewart looking, and I said, man, why don't you look at Jono? Now he's down here with a successful Chargers program. He's leading the way, dropped that 24 points last night. He's averaging 60% from the three-point line. So everybody's happy with him. And he's happy to be here. And to me, that's what it's all about, man. Creating opportunities for young people's future that's going to help everybody in the long run.
Very good to hear, Cal. Now, are you planning to get some shots up for out today a little bit, or not, depending on your, obviously you mentioned about your hip and that you come off operation there?
I got a little video here, I got some up earlier, shooting with Craig Irons, right? So he's looking at this one right here. So Craig was out there trying to me and you, let's go at this. And he was spraying that jump shot all over the place, but he's improved. Then he said, well, let's see what you can do. So I stepped out there, and I missed the first couple and all that because my shoulders hasn't been. But then I started getting wet, so I finished with 11 for 27 before I ran out of breath.
I was going to say, how many takes did it take Brent Costello to get that one behind his head to go for it?
I'm not going to blow the whistle on Brent. But what I did do, I coached him. I said, man, you got to come over your left shoulder a little bit, and get a little arc on it, and bend your knees, and before you know it, he hit nothing but net.
We saw that, and I tell you what, he's retweeted it all on his social media account. He's absolutely loving the attention.
Well, he deserves it, because he's been such a powerful voice for basketball here in Tasmania. I can only think of good things that he's going to bring to the table and supporting that with his background and intellect and his knowledge of the game and of the people that play the game here. So you got a tremendous ally in Brent Costello, and I'm sure that we're going to be seeing many more back shots over his shoulder that's going to hit the rim more often than going in.
And then depending on how many takes it does take. Cal, great to have you here in Hobart for the weekend, and like as we said last night, it was great to have you on commentary. It was an absolute honour for us to have you in and give us some special comments. But great to give up your time as always to us here at Chargers TV, and we hope to see you again soon in the not too distant future, mate.
Yeah, I hope so too, Ronald, and thank you for all you do, and couldn't wait to share that story about us up on the northwest coast and checking out overnight. Well, we didn't get no sleep because we heard some kids playing basketball across the road under the lights, and it was like, do we have to go out there and put them to bed by playing some 3-on-3 against them or what? But no, you've been a great supporter of the game as well, and the Chargers probably are blessed to have you.
Thank you, Cal.
Okay.